It is Sunday, November 7th in the NBA. We got 8 games going down on the slate, and I got my top 6 best bets coming your guys' way. But first, let's get it started. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. We're going to get back after it, just like we do every single day in the NBA with my best bet videos. Now, yesterday, like we always do, we do a recap because we're always going to be transparent with you. I could go 0-6 on the day, and I'll still come out here and recap it, unlike really a lot of channels out there. But yesterday, we went 2-3. We went 2-1 on player props, 0-2 on spreads, and if you had Suns, -4.5, like we did, you hate to see it. Now, CP3 misses a free throw with a couple seconds left. They only win by 4. Now, if you got the bet later on in the day, DeAndre Ayton was ruled out, so you probably got it at 3.5. You likely cashed, but like I said, our best bet of the day cashed. Even my Calling My Shot portion cashed, plus 185 winner. I got another one, plus 185 today, so stick around to the end of the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We just passed 12.3 thousand subscribers. Can we hit 12.5K today? I think we can. You guys have been showing a ton of support, so we appreciate it. Click that like button too. It really helps us in the videos do a lot better on the YouTube, and comment your favorite play because you could be just like this follower Icy, who came out with a banger yesterday, just absolutely swept the slate with their pick. DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points, Rockets Nuggets under, Rockets and Mavs money line. Luka got you, and Jokic got a nice block to get that Nuggets money line win. Hopefully we can continue making some money today. I have 2 best bets in the NFL videos that will be live, or already are live. They'll be linked down below in the description in case you want to check them out for the NFL this weekend, Week 9. But let's get after it. Our best bet cashed yesterday with Dennis Schroeder's under or over 4.5 assists. You could have even got at 5.5, cash it. We're going to go with another point guard's assist number, Dejounte Murray. I'm taking his over 6.5 assists, -140 on DraftKings. Now, Dejounte's really stepped it up this season. He's become the primary ball handler for the San Antonio Spurs, and he's been showing out. He's averaging 8.2 assists per game, 15.1 assist chances per game. So both very good numbers. All we need is 7 today. Murray has 7 or more assists in 7 of 9 games this season and 6 of the last 7 games. Now this Thunder, they're playing the Thunder today, and this matchup has been specifically pretty good for him. He's had 7+ assists in 2 of 3 matchups last season, so not too bad. Now the Thunder are currently allowing the 7th most assists per game to just opposing teams, and Dejounte Murray's going to have the ball in his hand a good amount of the times. Now sharper books have this around -191, the over, and we're getting at -140. Great value. Now, for people that are confused when I say sharper books, I'll explain it for a second. I'm referring to Pinnacle, the sports book that takes in more bets than anyone out there in the whole world. Now, their books there and their lines are normally much sharper because they take in so many bets. They got the best statisticians in the world. So, in this case, -140 versus -191. We're getting pretty good. A positive expected value bet. I have a positive expected value video talking betting tips and tricks that will be linked down below in case you want to check it out. But we'll ride with Dejounte Murray today. Now, we're going to start with some spreads and over-unders. I'm going to start making these half-unit plays. Now, mainly because, you think about it, if you're a longtime viewer, I don't really love betting spreads and over-unders. They're not my favorite cup of tea, and especially not after that CP3 brutal beat, especially so early into the season. It really is hard to kind of determine what these teams are. So I'm going to move them down to half-unit plays. If you're not being profitable in spreads and over-unders like we really haven't been this season, no need to keep forcing them, but I'm going to still keep giving you guys my 2-3 favorites of the day. We're going to go with that. So we're going to make them half-unit plays going forward. I'll make sure that's dictated on the screen, but we're going Jazz -9.5. And I'm going to continue to just go against the Magic. The Magic are an absolute, they're a terrible team. But I'm just going to keep riding the Jazz against the Magic today. Now, they're coming off a loss yesterday, and truthfully, I don't know who the Jazz are going to start today. But I don't really think it matters. This Magic, and I don't even know if the Magic are who they're going to start, because Cole Anthony's questionable at the moment. So I don't think it matters. The Jazz, I think, could easily beat this Magic team with their bench. And that's just because they can outscore them. That even though Jordan Clarkson can't make a shot, although I think he's starting to make them. He missed 23 straight three-pointers a couple days ago, but this Magic team is not very good. They have lost all 4 games at home this season. They have not won a single game. They're losing them on average by 15 points per game. They've lost all 4 by 9 points, so they only covered once at this specific spread. The Jazz, just the clear better team, the better defensive team. Hopefully Gobert, don't expect Donovan Mitchell to play today, but I don't think it really matters. I think the Jazz, clearly the better team. They can easily outscore this Magic team, and so we're going to ride with the Jazz -9.5. Let's go on to an over-under pick, Knicks versus Cavs. I'm taking the under, 209.5 points. Now, if you watch and I'm a Knicks fan, so I've watched these teams play in the past. Last season, they played three games, and I'll talk about them. Their final scores they combined for 183, 209, and 181 points last season. Now, these two teams are clearly changed. Obviously, the Cavs have Evan Mobley. The Knicks have Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier chucking up a couple bricks a game. But by the ratings, the Cavs are currently supporting the 13th highest defensive rating in the NBA. They've held some teams under 100 points this year. Now, the Knicks, they're 21st, but I think they're better, and they really turned it around yesterday or 2 days ago when they took on the Bucks. Now, after the first quarter, when they left every single Bucks shooter wide open, and the Bucks scored like 38 points in the first quarter, they really clamped them down. They only allowed like 60 points over the remaining 3 quarters, and they really looked good. Nerlens Noel was looking good in the paint, and I think they're really going to get back to their defensive roots today against this Cavs team. Like I said, you already heard those numbers in terms of how many points they scored last year. Now, they went under in all 3 games. And understand, like, these teams have changed personnel, but this is a Sunday game. These are always fluky. This is the Cavs team traveling to Madison Square Garden. They're a very young team. Could they get nervous under the bright lights? Potentially. So last game, the Knicks, like I said, they put up 113 versus the Bucks. And they missed the under. Well, they cashed the under. We had the over because it was a painful, brutal beat. But they only scored that many points because they had 20 offensive rebounds, getting up a lot more shots than the Bucks did. I don't think they're getting that many second chances against this Cavs team. Very tall, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley should be able to hold down the paint. So I'll ride with the under Knicks Cavs under 209.5 points. Now let's move on to some player props. Got 3 or 4 coming your way. We're going to start with Mo Harkless, under 12.5 PRAs, minus 125 on FanDuel, also playable at 11.5. Mo Harkless, if you're watching the video, probably should click off because, truthfully, I don't think Mo Harkless is a very good basketball player. Now, he plays and starts for the Sacramento Kings, and today they take on the Indiana Pacers. Harkless averaging 5.5 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, and 0.6 assists per game for a total of 9.9 PRAs per game. And now he needs 13 to squash us, potentially 10, 12, depending on what you get it at. He's had 2 good games this season. That's all he's had, and they've been recent, but he scored double-digit points in those 2 games. Now, I don't know what the value is for him to score 10-plus points, but it shouldn't hit more often than not. And I don't think he's going to hit this over. He's gone under this line 6 of 8 games this season, and I just don't believe there's enough shot attempts to go around here. You obviously have De'Aaron Fox. Buddy Hield comes off the bench and attempts 33s. Harrison Barnes, Tyrese Halliburton, even Raquan Holmes. All these guys are shooting much more than you got Mo Harkless shooting, who's averaging 5 shot attempts a night, even less than that. I'll take his under, and I'll ride with the talent, or lack thereof, Mo Harkless, under 12.5 PRAs. And moving on to another under for a guy that's struggling, Terry Rozier. I'm taking his under 16.5 points, minus 104 on FanDuel. I was betting an under for any player, including Mo Harkless and Eric Bledsoe, who I wanted to take again today, but didn't have a line for at this moment. It's hard. It's hard to bet unders. It's hard to watch, but so is betting overs. You can get a guy clanking it up, and that's what Terry Rozier has been doing. He's 5 for 26 from the field, 2 for 14 from 3 over his last 2 games, and maybe he's due to make some shots, but there's a lot of mouths to feed on this Hornets offense. Miles Bridges didn't have a great game last one, but he should continue to shoot pretty well and shoot a ton of times. You obviously got Gordon Hayward, obviously got LaMelo Ball, and then there's Terry Rozier, who he's played in 5 games, gone under in 4 of them. The only game he hit the over, he shot 22 times. So if he's going to go out there and shoot 22 times, I'll accept defeat and take the under here. The rest of the games, he shot 5, 10, 12, 14 times. He does shoot a lot of threes, so his shot attempts might be worth a little bit more than the average Joe, but he's had games where he's hit 4 threes and not hit over 16.5 points. So like I said, there's a lot of shot guys to go around on this Hornets offense. And so I'm going to take it. In 2 games versus the Clippers last season, he scored just 10 and 8 points. That was him shooting 12, 14 times a game. I'll ride with the numbers and take the under here. Sharper books have this one at minus 139. We're getting it at minus 104. Great value. Now moving on to another under. Sorry for all the unders today, but that's basically how you cash in the NBA this time of year. Lou Dort, we're taking his under 20.5 PRAs, minus 102 on FanDuel. The Dort Army is coming at me, but we've cashed a bet taking an under for Lou Dort, this exact bet before this season. We're going to ride with it again. Now, Lou Dort, he's only played in 7 games this season. He's cashed the under in 5 of them. The only 2 times he went over was against the LA Lakers, which, the Thunder only play well against that team because that's the only team they have beaten so far this season. Lou Dort averaging 18.3 PRAs per game, and now he needs 21 to destroy us. He'll likely be guarding Derek White or Dejounte Murray, both 2 guys that are farther away from the basket, so not a lot of rebounds to go around. And on the flip side, on the defensive end, on the offensive end for him, he'll be getting guarded probably by Derek White, who I consider to be a pretty good defensive player. Since 2020, Lou Dort has played the Spurs 5 times. Here are his PRA numbers: 19, 21, 18, 19, and 6. Those are his 5 career matchups, all happening since 2020. Gone under in 4 of 5. He's gotten close, but gone under in 4 or 5. I'll take the under in this spot just based on I just don't think he's going to get a ton of rebounds and assists, and I don't think the points will all be all that there. So we'll take the under and hope that he can cash it again for 2 straight times on the Call on Our Shot channel. Speaking of calling our shot, we're calling my shot. Here's my bet. We cashed yesterday plus 185 with who was that? We took a Jay-Sean Tate to not hit a three-pointer. Cashed that one. He only attempted one. We're going with another plus 185 bet. Harrison Barnes, double-double, plus 185 on FanDuel. Might be better value wherever your book is, but Harrison Barnes is 4 double-doubles in 9 games so far this season, and he finished with 9 rebounds in 2 of them. So if he gets up to 9 rebounds and doesn't get it, whatever. But he has a double-double in 3 of his past 5 games. They're taking on a Pacers team pretty tall with Sabonis and Turner, and likely you'll have whoever the center is, Riqon Holmes, guarding Miles Turner, sits out on the perimeter. So it might be some more open rebounds out there for other guys, but Harkless ain't getting them. So Harrison Barnes will grab. He might have a chance to grab double-double rebounds. Should be able to score 10 points. So I'll take his double-double plus 185 and go for it. Don't obviously put a full unit on it. I'll put a little bit, probably like a half unit, and we'll ride with it from there. We have the 2 NFL videos popping up on the screen. Consider checking them out if you guys want to. Subscribe if you guys are new. If you enjoyed, click that like button too. We appreciate all you guys' love and support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.